Well, welcome to the Paddle Games, which are proudly supported by Westpac and the Western Sydney University. I've got Chris Youness here. He's the head of Employability and Graduate Success. Thank you so much for joining Small Biz Matters with Alexi Boyd.
Thanks, Alexi. How are you?
We're having a great day, actually. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I've actually been walking around your grounds this morning, very impressed with just how beautifully laid out everything is. It's very green, it's very open, the students seem quite relaxed. It's a bit different from when I was at uni and everything was sort of crammed into a really small space. So congratulations on making such a lovely campus for them.
Yeah, thank you very much, and welcome to our Parramatta South campus. It is beautiful, and it's a beautiful day outside, and we've tried to maximise the internal and external spaces to try and bring a bit of life to the games today, as you can see out here.
It's a pretty exciting day. We've got lots of roundtable discussions going on, students working with businesses, working with facilitators and mentors to help them get through this. Is this one of the programs that you're quite proud of at Western Sydney University to help get students ready to run a business?
Absolutely right. So Paddle Games is one initiative that we've been running over the course of this year, and we've signed up for about 6 games, hopefully some more, over the course of the next 2 years. And what it does do, it brings together students and businesses in a way that they've not been able to connect with before. So essentially businesses come with their problems, our students get to use their skills, their talents, their knowledge that they've been learning over the course of the last 2 or 3 years whilst they've been at university, and help address some of these issues in very diverse ways that I guess small businesses might not have had the chance to experience before. So yeah, very, very proud of the initiative.
And speaking of the diversity of businesses, we've got it's almost as though you're ticking so many boxes with the different sectors of the economy that you're tapping into. Was that deliberate?
Yes, absolutely. What we realised was, so this is our second games at Western Sydney University, and what we realised was that the more diverse the businesses are, the better ideas that are developed. And they actually also reflect the diversity of our students as well. So you know, our students are representing 170 nationalities in the region, and so as a result of that, their ability to connect with very diverse businesses is quite amazing.
Now, just before we went on air, you were mentioning how a lot of these students do come from a small business background because they're they're first in their family to graduate from university, and a lot of them have come through families with family businesses, and that's been their exposure. Do you think that they draw on that experience when they're at something like the Paddle Games?
I think so, very much. So our students are more likely to work in small to medium-sized enterprises in their first few years of work, and I very much think that that's because their origins have come from households, you know, that are running small businesses themselves. I mentioned before that, you know, they're likely to be cutting onions and you know, filling out logbooks for their family businesses whilst they're studying their HSC and as they move into university, and so they're very much connected to the idea of small business and the power and impact that small business has. I also think they're very committed to the impact that small business can have on essentially the societies around them and the communities around them. You know, they realise that people come through those doors are, you know, families and other human beings who have lives and have interests that they're trying to kind of push and progress, much like these small business owners and families are. So I think they're very happy about that idea, and their ability to connect with those types of people across the board is very, very powerful. So yeah, absolutely.
It's a great way to connect with the small business community. Now, you mentioned as well that you also have a job match program. Can you tell the listeners about that? Because I'm sure there's quite a few of you out there who are thinking, I would love to tap into that student talent. How do I access them?
For sure. So the university, Western University, is very committed to its region in terms of supporting business and small business specifically. You know, you might have heard we're the 3rd largest economy in Australia, and that's largely built on small businesses, 160,000 small businesses in our region. So, you know, what that means for us is that essentially we need to help our small businesses connect with the talent that we have at our university. We've got 48,500 students, and so, you know, how do we actually bridge that gap for small business? And we've run a couple of programs. So one is Paddle, that you see, you're hearing in the background today. So that's 10 small businesses at the moment working with up to 10 students per table in order to address a problem. So that's one way, an experiential learning program. But we've got a number of other ways. So one of the other ways is a program called Job Match, which is run by our partners that are named Load. And that Job Match service allows employers to sign up for free and to essentially find students who are registered from a particular discipline. They're studying a particular discipline, who have different types of experiences and have different skills, and connects those employers directly with those students for free. So that's one way. And our second way is our Career Hub program. Our Career Hub program is a job application process where businesses register, a bit like Seek, jump online, post an ad and receive interest from our students. And we help to make sure that those job opportunities are directed to the specific students that they're looking for.
It's a great way to connect in with that talent, as you mentioned, because I think, what's coming through these days is a lot different from what you or I might have studied at university, a couple of decades ago. And we don't really have an understanding about what the students are learning, let alone what the new ideas and new facets that they're coming out with. Let's talk about, apart from this experiential experience and really understanding how businesses work, you also mentioned that there's a few other fundamental aspects to their learning, and there's a tax clinic that you offer students?
Absolutely. So one initiative that we run, and we run a number of these initiatives, so there are many programs, things like Global Scope also connect with businesses, like I said, Paddle, but we have at the School of Business a tax clinic, which is essentially our accounting students working for free, supporting businesses who are looking to get some tax advice, basically. And so for us, what that does is it puts our students in the face of business, and especially led by our academic colleagues and our experts, if you will, to try and help students and businesses connect and essentially deliver some services, receive some benefit, both for businesses and for students.
Fantastic. Look, I'd like to thank you so much, Chris, for joining Small Biz Matters. I think there's a great resource here that the small business community really needs to know about. How can they find out more about some of the things you've mentioned today?
The easiest way is westerncityuniversity.edu.au/careers. We've got an employer page there that will allow our employers to look into the various services that we have on offer.
Fantastic. Thanks once again for joining Small Biz Matters with Alexi Boyd. Chris, we'll be back with another guest after this.